Have you ever heard of companies like FTX, Theranos, Enron, or even the once great Boeing? What immediately comes to mind when we think about such companies? Now, each of those companies were once industry and in some cases world-leading companies that were known for innovation, engineering, and growth. Unfortunately, though, for many people today, our memories of each of those companies are now associated with major scandals that included lawsuits, public disgrace, and in most of those cases, jail time for the leaders involved. Now, those companies operated across different decades and different industries. So what is the thread that ties them all together? Governance, or more specifically, failed governance practices that led to their downfall. But what is governance and why is it so important? Well, governance refers to the system of rules, practices, and processes by which a company is directed and controlled. It encompasses the mechanisms through which companies are managed and overseen. Accordingly, governance plays a crucial role in shaping the way organizations operate, make decisions, and are held accountable. Good governance is so critical to the effective management of all companies that it's one of the three pillars of ESG. And based on how a lot of experts view ESG, governance really transcends all the other areas of ESG because it often relates to law and therefore how governments require companies to operate, what governments require companies to disclose to the public, and provides a clear roadmap for internal company management. So think of governance as the overarching framework by which companies function, which keeps corporate leaders in check and helps to ensure that misbehavior and bad management don't occur. Transparency, accountability, and fairness are the cornerstone principles of corporate governance. Transparency ensures that information is disclosed openly and accurately, while accountability holds decision makers responsible for their actions. And fairness ensures equitable treatment of all stakeholders. Now, one key aspect of governance is the composition and functioning of the company board of directors. A well-structured board with diverse expertise and independent members can provide effective oversight and strategic guidance to a company. These examples highlight the critical role of governance in safeguarding the interests of shareholders, employees, customers, and the broader society. Now, effective governance mechanisms are essential to mitigate risks, uphold ethical standards, and ensure long-term sustainability and success for organizations. In conclusion, governance is a fundamental pillar of ESG principles, shaping the way organizations are managed, operate, and make decisions. Do you remember those companies FTX, Theranos, Enron, and Boeing that we mentioned earlier? Well, it's worth mentioning that governance issues at FTC, Theranos, and Enron were so severe that it led to the downfall of each of those organizations, and none of them are anywhere near what they once were. But one of those firms, Boeing, is still in the middle of their governance scandal and therefore still has a chance to regroup and hopefully forge a more positive legacy. By prioritizing transparency, accountability, and fairness, companies can enhance their reputation, build trust with stakeholders, and drive sustainable growth. So in Module 5, we're going to discuss governance more fully, providing interesting case studies and interviews that will highlight both what companies should strive for, but also what they should avoid.